Hello there. Monday is Labor Day, so we're not getting to do Desmos together. So I thought I would put together a video to help you get through this activity. So how are you doing today? We pimping it. Anything you need to let me know, please post in the box. How you doing? All right, so it says, remember ARC is at the 2 points, okay, given x1, x2 interval. So this is an interval, and IRC is at 1 point. So it says in red, sketch the secant line, which goes through -3 and -2. And you can actually even get the line tool here, and I think kind of sort of it would be that line. And then in purple, sketch the tangent line at x equals -3, so it only goes through that 1 point. And I kind of told you what to explain, so be sure and explain that. The next slide will actually show your graph, so how well you did, to see if you got it exactly. And you probably did, because you probably copied me, right? All right. Same thing here, so I'm going to leave this up to you to actually draw this and see how well you did. All right, so this is understanding the difference between the value of a function and then this next slide. See that little prime? This is the derivative, which is the rate. So the value of a function, so at f of -2, I go to -2 and I look at that value. I go to f of 0, I see this value, so that's negative, and then f of 2 looks to be a little bit higher. Now notice it said the least. Oh, Cindy didn't read. So it looks like the 0 is the lowest, right? The least value. And then at f of 2 might be the next one, and then f of -2. Oh, yoo-hoo, I did it. All right, when you get a prime, this is the slope. So once again, least. So at 1, I think that slope would be 0, right? You could draw a horizontal line at x equals 1 on that function. So that slope's 0. F prime of -1, that's going down. So that would be a negative slope. And then f of -3. That is going up, so that would be a positive slope. All right, so really look at these. Don't just click, 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 because Miss Cindy clicked that. I'm going to click it so I get woohoo. Be sure you understand this means the slope of that function. So what is that function doing? Is it increasing? Is it flat, staying constant at 0, or is it decreasing? All right. Let's see the difference in the graph. So here what I probably would do is you're going to be matching graphs. So I would move all of these up to the top. Remember, if you do not snap these, if you just put them like that, it's not going to say that you got them right. All right, so all of these are prime except this one. So this is a value. This says when x is 7, the value's positive. Well, it's not that one. And this one, I can see f prime is negative because that's actually going down. And then, and you can click on these to make these bigger. I can see here f prime of 7 is 0 because again, this is the slope. So that is 0. And then here I can see that f of 7 is positive, and I don't even see 9.5 on this graph, so that can't be that one. And then finally last, f prime of 9.5, so it's saying at 9.5, and it might be in between here, right? Because this is 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, so in between here, looks like that slope is going down, and that's what it means to be negative. Woohoo, 8 of 8. Okay, so this is in your lecture. It talked about the difference between f prime of x, which is the slope at the value of x, or dy dx. This is just for you to tell me which one you prefer. All right, so it says pretty soon we'll be going full blast finding derivatives. Once you get an answer, it is important you know how to interpret your answer. You are told that the population in China is 1.412 billion in 2021. So what I do, because it says this represents t equals 0 in 2021, I would write p of 0. So in 2021 is 1.412, and this is billions of peeps in 2021, okay? Now it says it's decreasing at a rate, so if this is a rate, this is the change in population over the change in time, and this is at, which is, you can draw a straight up and down sign, you'll see I kind of do that, or you can do or p prime of 0 is 6.77 births per 1,000 people per year. So births per 1,000 people, I'm not sure it's going to let me do this, per year. Let me do it outside here, per year. Okay, so that's the difference between the value of a function and then the derivative of a function. Anything else I got to do there? No. You'll see these, there's not very many slides this week, so that's kind of cool. All right, so I think I did, ooh, do you see what Miss Cindy didn't do? She didn't put a negative sign because it's decreasing. And it gave me the answers right there, so I knew. So remember, decreasing, the derivative will be negative. When you have something decreasing, hopefully you were hollering, Miss City, you forgot your negative sign before you clicked on this slide. All right, some of you hotshot high schoolers, haha, that took AP Calculus or even dual credit, you understand that this formula here we don't use forever. There is actually a shortcut way that is coming up next week. And the whole thing here is, you know, students always want to jump straight to the shortcut, to do this very quickly. But then if they don't even understand the shortcut, where this came from, that's probably not a very good thing. Okay, this is directly from your lecture notes, and it's at the very end, and it's trying to get you to see the patterns of what is actually happening with this function, f of x equals x squared. Okay, and you actually work this out and see if you can figure out this pattern. If you can't, don't worry. We're going to actually go over this, but I even show some other examples down here. Maybe you can kind of see what's going on of the function and then its derivative. This is homework 3, problem 7. And I go through and I show you how to actually do this with the limit formula, and you're like, nope, I'm ready to do shortcuts now. If you figured out the shortcuts here, I show you very quickly how to get the derivative and then plug in this value. Okay, once again, if you're like, oh, wait, what's going on? We will go through in more detail the shortcut, and we will start to use it in week, what week are we in? 3, so in week 4. All right, so are you agree or disagree? Are you finally, I mean, we're now in 3 weeks that we're kind of beating the limit definition to death. You'll see that I even made you repeat it in your lecture notes. Hopefully you're kind of sort of getting this stuff, and that's it for this Desmos.